Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. If I found out that Nas had a ghostwriter, oh no, it's a
But
problem. It's a problem.
from what time frame would you be upset about? You talking about his whole career, or you talking about like in the later years of his career?
I'm talking about
which
like
he's still live right
yeah,
now.
he's still doing it. He's still his pen game is crazy.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is as well too. We just admire the fact that you actually came out with so much crazy bars. Like we look at you as gods, kind of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's how we look at. You know what I mean? So it's just to find out that damn you was just a puppet. I think it's just the puppetry behind it. Like you didn't really write this. It's almost like being a president. Like all these laws and everything that you actually you have to go by. Yeah, you got to go by these rules, right? So for me, is like I don't want to know that you were actually a puppet. I want to know that you created everything. I want to know that you actually put down all this stuff and it came from the mind. Like you know what I'm saying? It's a little bit different. I appreciate. You know what I mean? Entertainment is entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is with Drake, with everybody else. But they did say Drake has a he has a pen game as well.
Drake definitely has a pen game, but the question would be from
when to when.
Yeah, like
or can we? Was your last single, was that you or was that somebody else?
But I think it don't even matter no more.
Now, I was about to say that. I was about to say it really don't matter anymore when it comes to now who's actually writing their own shit. But there are certain artists that I'm gonna be disappointed to find out that they actually don't write this shit. Like if Meek Mills came out and be like, "Yo, I got a ghostwriter," and you was clowning Drake for having a ghostwriter. You get what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just street cred from hip hop, man. That's all it is. You know what I mean? I actually feel like it kind of doesn't matter now. If you put out a good song, you put out a good song. If I bop to it, I'm fucking with it.
But you know this makes it sound even worse because now you brought Meek Mill up. My whole thing was like you clowned him for having a ghostwriter and he still bodied you.
Yeah. Oh.
So now it's like
yeah.
That it kind of like add insult to injury. Like
it came from somebody else,
and he's I don't know. I don't know if that one came from somebody else. But then again, if we just talking about from a strong a song structure, you know, perspective, it's kind of like if you got a ghostwriter, great. I just think that once you establish your pen game, maybe like a hook or something like that, and it's not wrong with like here's this hook, take this.
Right.
I'll steal your hook in a heartbeat. You're like, let me get that.
See that I think that's what it is with hooks. It's a little bit different. It's like anybody could come up with a hook. A hook is whatever. I think that's the leniency when it comes to ghostwriting. But when it comes to like your verse, your actual verse, everybody wants to write their own verse and say I came up and said these bars and show the creativity of what they presenting on the track.
Would you ghostwrite for somebody?
In a heartbeat. Quick.
I'll you know what?
I would ghostwrite for somebody.
That was the question.
That
was the question.
Yeah.
So the question is, would you ghostwrite for a top tier artist and they only give you $1,000, but the song blows, right? So I guess the real question is this: would you just write for a top tier artist for $1,000 because the song is gonna blow? You know what I'm saying? So would you do it knowing that this is a top tier artist, or would you ask for more, or would you just take the 1,000 and write it for him anyway?
See now it depends on what I sign off of. If I actually sign for that particular track, because singles is blowing off of albums right now, right?
Facts.
If I sign up for a track, I'll take the $1,000 just to get my name out there.
Okay.
But if we going by singles, or if you're doing it by whereas throughout your whole contract, whereas you have to present like 3 albums, or you know what I'm saying, you have to do. It depends on the contract.
Just one song. It's just a
one song. 1,000.
Yeah, just work for hire. You don't get no royalties. You do well. You may or may not get the writer's credit.
Let's just say we don't get the writer's credit. I still do it.
You'll still do it?
Only because my ego would be like, yo, I wrote that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I did that. You know what I mean? So it just be more on like, yo, I actually put out something and look at your favorite. Everybody's favorite artist is looking at, oh, yo, they came out with it. And then they get the credit for it. Mm-hmm. But in the back of my mind, I could laugh and be like, yo, I was the one.
Yeah, I think I would definitely write for top tier major artists, even for breadcrumbs, only because when they make that hit, that's going to open the door for me. They're probably going to come knocking on my door again for something else. So, now, I might have took the shorter end of the stick this time, but next time around, I'm like, yo, you're going to have to pay me for what I'm saying. Like, you're going to have to pay me a little bit more this time. And it'll just gradually increase as time goes by because, they tend to keep those people around. You know what I'm saying? If you make something magical happen, you're probably going to keep this shit around. Like, you're not just going to just, like, dismiss somebody who just helped you and put you on a higher pedestal.
Right.
So I'm with you on that.
I'm wondering, like, it makes you wonder, like, how many dope writers is out there that's locked up, you know what I'm saying, that probably passed away, that couldn't, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yo, what's his name? Who said that? He said that about R. Kelly. Tank,
right?
He said R. Kelly. I think he said that.
Yeah, Tank said it on Drink Champs. Like, yo, he's impeccable. Like, he's the only one that could fuck with him because he wrote everything that he wrote. He writes his shit.
Right.
You know
he writes his shit, and then I know.
Neo.
I'm surprised he didn't say Neo because I'm like, well, there's more writers like,
right.
yo.
Well, he wouldn't be able to fuck with Neo. I mean, Tank is a singer. Like, he could really sing. You know what I'm saying? Not to say
Neo could too.
Neo could too, but I think Neo's more of a entertainer, whereas he's doing the dancing.
And okay.
And he's crossing over genres. He cross over genres. Tank, I don't think Tank ever did anything like in that commercial lane, or could, you know what I mean, could say that he done tracks with Calvin Harris. You know what I'm saying? He's tracks with.
Well, I mean, he's done tracks with like way more people. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Behind the scenes too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's but they're all in that lane, and they're all writers. In their own respects, and then they have the connections to make shit like that happen, and they got the network.
Music, life, love.